Roger Stone, former head of the Trump campaign, Trump confidant, is here with us. And boy, everything you've said about the campaign and what happened after, your advice to the president has been dead on. But as we've said, the president's got his own brain. It's when our analysis, your analysis, clicks with his, that's when he tends to really go with something, when we confirm his own research, his own gut understanding. And the more he goes with his gut, the more victories we have. Roger, what do you call this historically as Donna Brazile comes out confirming everything about them stealing the election criminally and the money from Sanders, all confirmed in triplicate, what you and I and others broke down with our moles and our information. We have all the articles to prove it and are on record, as everybody knows, attacked by the media for ever saying it. Now you've got Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren coming out saying it was wrong. You've got CNN reporters, people that pose as reporters like Wolf Blitzer. You've got basically everybody throwing the Clintons under the bus. Something months ago we said there's an internal battle. It's about to break. The Clintons are trying to hold on. They're extincting the party. So as much as I hate them and want to see them gone, now I love seeing her ugly face and Bill Clinton's ugly face, because it is like kryptonite to these people. It is bringing the republic back. It is beautiful. It is amazing. They just, you never want to interrupt your enemy when they're destroying themselves, as Sun Tzu said. What would you call this time, my friend?
This is fratricide is what this is. I mean, first of all, the president's absolutely right. So you had 3 out of 10 Bernie Sanders supporters voting for Trump. Let's remember it was WikiLeaks and Julian Assange who first revealed the documents that showed that the Democratic National Committee was cheating under the leadership of Deborah Wasserman Schultz. Were bending the rules. You know who won the California primary between Bernie and Hillary Clinton? No, either do I. You know why? They haven't finished counting yet. You know why? Because Bernie won. That's why. And we can't.
Well, they had a meeting the night before at a billionaire's house, and quote, they decided it was Hillary before they had the election.
Yeah, it's extraordinary.
I mean, that's what's crazy about this. It's like the brazenness.
Every single professional Democrat I know, and I have many friends who are Democrats, they just want the Clintons to go away. They are poison. They are destroying the Democratic brand, or at least what is left of it.
So you heard my point about bittersweet. I kind of hope the Clintons hang around, actually.
Well, look, I think she's serious about running in 2020. Now, I predicted last night on the War Room, and I will stick to my prediction. Michelle Obama will be a Democratic candidate for president, and she is the presumptive nominee. She's certainly the front runner if she wants to be. Barack Obama, not the Clintons, control the machinery of that party if they seek to assert themselves. And the Obama brand, as much as I disagree with it, does not have the baggage that the Clinton brand has. It's the end of the road for Hillary. Everybody seems to know it, but her.
This is huge, but let me just, since you're into fashion and well-known for that in the New York circles, can we go to that camera shot of Roger Stone, please, just real fast? I've not tried to look better than CNN or Fox News. We've built a studio here, for a fraction of the cost. But I've got to say, that shot with the American flag stars, with the InfoWars logo, and your suit is the best TV shot, better than Nightline, anything I've ever seen. We have achieved, I mean, I got to say, good job, crew. Wow, look at that shot, Roger.
And here's the thing, Alex, unlike Paul Manafort, I did not spend $1.3 million on my wardrobe in 1 year. I did not go to one haberdasher and spend $500,000. Now, since I believe Manafort's money was clean, and I think he earned it perfectly legally, he's entitled to spend it any way he wants. You notice in the phony indictment rolled out against him, they talk about how he evaded taxes, but they brought no charge of tax evasion.
And you first broke the fact that they obsessed over his suits. That was an inside thing he told you. Hours photographing him at his house.
Exactly. So when they broke into his apartment at 5 o'clock, after they patted he and his wife down to see if they were carrying guns, they actually patted his wife down before they let her get out of bed. Outrageous. They went into his closet and they took photographs of his extensive wardrobe of custom-made Italian suits. Now, I would not spend that kind of money on clothing, to be honest with you. I believe in buying quality.
But they want to put that out as a class warfare thing.
Yeah, no, it's the politics of resentment. They want people to resent the fact that Paul Manafort has been successful, and he's earned everything he has.
And then we'll be able to think, oh, it must be ill-gotten. But then compared to the Clinton Foundation, openly criminal, all the Uranium One coming out, the Podesta brother resigning, President Trump saying, go after John Podesta. What does that signify for us if we read the tea leaves? What is the president telegraphing?
Well, look, I think that they've got a very, very weak indictment. I'm glad to see Tony Podesta now finally in the crosshairs. There's rumors of 2 sealed indictments, but for all we know, they're going to indict Paul Manafort's driver for double parking, and they're going to nail his housekeeper for tearing the tags off of the cushions on his sofa. I mean, this is really reaching absurd proportions.
And they admit in the indictment that the junior guy that's pled guilty kept saying, do this with the Russians, and always got rebuffed.
Right.
And then it turns out he's connected to the Democrats.
And he's nobody. He had no authority. He had no security clearance.
So it'd be like, I've got 70-something people here in this office. It'd be like if I hired somebody as a junior editor, they'd been here a month, and then I'm indicted because the person gets caught selling marijuana on the other side of town?
No, it's not analogous, because you used the key words, hired. This guy wasn't hired by anyone. He was a volunteer. He had no official authority. He wasn't on the payroll. He didn't have a security clearance or even a pass to get into the
And that's all they've got.
Right, and that's all they have. That's what they tie.
So let's pull back. The pedophilia of Hollywood's coming out. The whole thing's collapsing. The NFL is down 30-something% just this year. What's 18%? Everything's imploding. It's like they're rolling, snake eyes every time. We're rolling double sixes every time. I mean, I'm not trying to be over positive here. This is getting spectacular. I don't want to get too confident, though.
Well, I'm perplexed today by the decision announced by Attorney General Jeff Sessions to recuse himself in the matter of Uranium One. Really? This is extraordinary. The president...
Oh, yeah, what does that mean?
I don't understand where his conflict comes from.
I mean, there's no connection to Trump and Uranium One. It's all Hillary and Podesta. Exactly. What is he doing?
Yeah, he has nothing to do.
How about he recuses himself of being the Attorney General?
How about he resign or be fired? This is reaching absurd proportions. In
fact, I'm going to put the headline out now. Jeff Sessions has recused himself as being Attorney General. Jeff Sessions is not. Jeff Sessions has fired himself. Jeff Sessions is titular. He's ceremonial. Go, go, go.
But here's what's even odder, and that is the tweet by the president this morning in which he says he's not supposed to direct the actions or affect the actions of the Justice Department. What lame-ass lawyer gave him that information? That's incorrect.
In fact, he said, I'm not involved with the Justice Department, but I think they ought to do something. Well, they're trying to tell him, sir, that's obstruction. No, that's in your executive branch, Jack.
What he needs to do is to order Jeff Sessions, order him to appoint a special counselor, special prosecutor, even though, by the way, we have no special
And by the way, let's be clear. The president can't appoint one, even though he can under the Constitution, but then the Rosenstein, the deputy AG, he can.
Right.
And then this swamp thing, Mueller climbs out.
Yeah, so I have nominees for a special counselor on Uranium One. I'd be more than happy with Andrew McCarthy or Judge Andrew Napolitano or even Trey Gowdy. We need a real lawyer, somebody committed to the rule of law, to dig into Uranium One.
But they always thought they were going to get away with it. There's not even digging into it.
Well, it's there on the surface. Comey, Mueller, McCabe, Rosenstein. Guilty. Busted. Where is Jeff Sessions?
What is the verdict? Guilty. 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 We shall return on the other side. I'm Alex Jones, Roger Stone, and more. Tons of other breaking news on the other side. Have you spread the link to the show yet? It's an act of rebellion, and Soros hates it. By the way, Alex Jones here back live with Roger Stone. He'll be hosting the fourth hour. Then after that, Owen Schroyer in the War Room's coming up. Also that he co-hosts. That David Knight, weekday mornings, kicks off at 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that is The Real News with David Knight. And I get so busy in the here and now that I haven't really plugged today. I should have been. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We may go a little bit earlier depending on events, but 1 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. That's when Antifa communists is what they are. It's run by the American Communist Party on their own website, buying full-page ads with Soros money in the New York Times. They say they're launching these massive attacks. And so we're going to be covering it. And then the media comes out and says, we're lying, it's not happening, saying that these ads aren't real. So they don't want us to know what's going on. I guess they can launch their attacks and then spin it. But briefly, Roger came in here. He's been working so hard. He said, man, I'm tired. Do you have any brain forks? This was a real plug. And he already took his brain force earlier, but I'm taking my brain force and my DNA Force right now, because my wife's birthday party last night, though I was a good boy, I did not imbibe. I did end up staying up late and did a big workout this morning. And usually by the last hour of the show, the fatigue hits me. But with Brain Force Plus back in stock at InfoWarsStore.com, I am doing well. And we also have DNA Force sold out for almost 4 months. It's 25% off DNA Force. Amazing for detoxifying your cells, helping your telomeres not be assaulted by all the toxins, and thus last longer, more healthy cell division. That's always a good thing. Hundreds of studies. You can read links to them at InfoWarsLive.com and learn about DNA Force. Also, Biome Defense Probiotic, back in stock, highest quality, 25% off. Again, InfoWarsLive.com or 888-253-3139. And please commit to support us. We know you support us. You're awesome. I'm not beating you over the head saying, hey, you better. But the globalists are attacking us for a reason. We are the tip of the spear. We're bold. We have the bold guests and researchers on. You're getting today's news a year ago, a year and a half ago. On just every day you see examples. It's sickening. That's why they ran in hundreds of papers yesterday lies that Owen Schroyer said that Hitler was still alive and the government was lying. They just cut that out. He said, according to 1955 documents in the JFK data dump. And then we had guest on, the host of Hunting Hitler, and he said, no, that's probably fake or a Hitler double because they were getting ready for Hitler to run there in case he wanted to, and were moving into Argentina. But he thinks, a lot of it's classified, he can't get into it, he's involved in all sorts of classified stuff. He's just not your average Green Beret, that these actually did die in Germany.
I was sitting there when Owen said this. He never said Hitler was still alive. All he pointed out was that this document existed. So this is typical fake news by David Brock and the twisted freaks at Media Matters for America. These people are incapable of telling the truth, incapable of it.
And they're doing it every day. Like they say, again, that I say that there are human slave colonies on Mars. I never said that. It's a total lie.
Here's the problem. They can't get any traction on Twitter, on Facebook. Nobody's reading their crap. So they have to malign us just by mentioning InfoWars. The only way they can get any traction whatsoever.
It is mind-blowing, though, when they have Newsweek say that I made it up and that there's no full-page ad in the New York Times last Wednesday. This is on Wednesday night. They said, I'm a liar in Newsweek and a bunch of other publications. I mean, Roger, here it is. It's all over the country. The link, they have it on their own website. It's there. The New York Times has it online on their site. What is that?
Well, in all, and you've been...
You're a political operative. What are they doing that for? I mean, it discredits them.
It's either sloppy, or it's uneducated, or it's willful fake news. There's only a couple possibilities. But
well, we know it's willful fake news. Why lie when it's so obvious? Like saying the sky is not blue and Donald Trump is a black man. I mean, it's not true.
Well, now you know why Newsweek is on the
50% of their people just cut.
Yeah, no, and they're losing money hand over fist. They're hanging on by a thread. They're not thriving because, unlike we here at InfoWars, they're not telling the truth. They're not publishing the cutting edge facts. They're just an apologist for the two-party duopoly and the failing political establishment that's run this country into the gutter.
What would you call this point that you have all the top Democrats coming out now and like stabbing Caesar? They're all coming out and saying Hillary's bad, Hillary's corrupt, Hillary's evil, Hillary committed crimes, uranium won, stole the election from Bernie. And then Warren goes, we've destroyed the party. We've got to say we were wrong. A day late and $1 trillion short, lady.
But I think the left has figured out that if they cannot get rid of the Clintons, their chances for a revival are zero. The professional left has figured out that the Clintons are not liberals. They're not progressives. They're not moderates. They're crony capitalists. They're thieves. They would steal a hot stove. They're interested only in themselves and lining their own pockets.
They're OGs. They're original gangsters.
Right. And even the left has figured out we must get rid of these people to have any chance of political success. So you see Donna Brazile, who I know and actually kind of like, I know on a personal level, even though our politics are completely deaf, she's come forward and said, enough of these people. So
and not, just out of self-survival of a party.
It's desire for political success. That's what political parties do, and they realize they cannot be successful as long as Hillary Clinton or her husband is the face of the Democratic
Party. And notice, they tried to sell InfoWars as the face of Trump, thinking they could control the narrative. Trump embraced it. It blew up in their face. And now this hardcore form of nationalist libertarianism, Americana, has literally taken the party over. I mean, we're not bragging when we say it. We are taking, you, the audience, it's just devastating. They made every miscalculation. It's come out in WikiLeaks. They thought Trump was weak. So the Democrats mainly focused on him and gave him all the attention and ordered the networks to follow him, thinking it would help Hillary, even though top advisors said, no, he'll beat you. They were so arrogant. They thought because he was radical and off the rails that people would reject him in the general election. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, no, I remember that I once read a biography of Hamilton Jordan, who had been Jimmy Carter's chief of staff. And he wrote in the book, we desperately want to run against Ronald Reagan. We can crush him. He's a simpleton. He's a moron. We'll destroy him. Of course, he was the one candidate who could beat Carter. It's exactly the same.
And by the way, you said this almost 2 years ago in here.
Yes, the Clintons wanted Donald Trump. They thought that they could beat him because he was.
Why are they so stupid?
Because they don't understand the American culture. They don't understand the American people. It was born of arrogance, and they got what they asked for. I'm convinced that no other Republican candidate of the 16 who ran could have beaten the Clinton machine. They nominated the one man who was able to beat Hillary Clinton, and then he was able, because of his positions on both war and trade, to move in on those Bernie voters.
He was the only man that could do it.
Exactly right.
And then there was InfoWars and Drudge with the background, everything ready. It was just all. It was like. It was a hole in one. It was a shot out of a million.
If you go to my book, The Making of the President 2016, I detail in there about how Hillary Clinton attacked Alex Jones and InfoWars by name. I was so jealous at the time, so jealous. But now that she's attacked me in her new fictional book, What Happened, 3 times by name, thank you, Hillary, I guess the score is even, Alex. They never understood.
Isn't it good to be blamed by this witch?
Well, it's not blame. It's credit in a sense, but the credit belongs to Donald Trump. He's the guy who...
Oh, absolutely. And it's not about tooting our horn. It's so the audience gets, we are the vanguard. When I tell the audience they're the reason we're here, supporting us, spreading the word, putting up with me, it's because it's you. You are the InfoWar, folks. This is real.
But we understand...
All over the world. Talk about the global thing.
We understand it's politically incorrect. It's socially unacceptable to be for Donald Trump. We are proudly, unabashedly Trumpsters here at InfoWars.
And we should. Look at the stock market. Look at the new jobs. Look at the new factory startups. It's better than Reagan even did.
It is. It is.
And a lot of leftists are finally going, okay, with this Donna Brazile thing was like the dam breaking. I'm seeing everybody go, okay, you're right. I'm glad Trump got in. She would have started a war. I don't know what's wrong with me. They're finally getting that they got sucked into a con.
There's no question about it. And it's going to be interesting to see the way the chickens come home to roost in the district of Deborah Wasserman Schultz, where many, many progressives upset now that she's completely exposed as having stolen the nomination from Bernie Sanders.
Hey, don't you love this cartoon? It's of trick-or-treating, and there's a Batman, and there's a Snow White, and there's a little kid playing Hillary, and they go on to point out that one of the little kids won't go away. The one dressed like Hillary refuses to go away, and the lady says, yeah, nice touch. I mean, everybody gets it.
That interview, which I think you aired yesterday, or I guess Owen Schroyer aired it, of Hillary.
Where she blames Trump.
Right, for pointing out that it wasn't a truck that hit those people in Times Square. It was an Islamic terrorist. Oh, my God, he's dividing us. Dividing us? What, by telling the truth? Now telling the truth is divisive? Despicable, just despicable.
But the media, the Democrats have finally turned against her out of self-preservation. The media still worships her. I mean, doesn't a Trevor Noah or any of these guys know there's nothing more uncool than having the witch of hell on your show?
I frankly hope she keeps running her mouth. Frankly, she's destroying any chance they have of...
Should we start a committee to run Hillary again?
Yeah, Hillary 2020.
Let's announce it. Let's start up the fund. We are for Hillary. Hillary 2020. She can do it. I'm with her. Hillary 2020.
Definitely with her. Run again.
I'm with her. We love Hillary. We love Hillary. We love Hillary. Hillary. She's our girl.